Hold on, let me get this going to YouTube real quick.
Okay.
So we give people the opportunity, if you want to play along with the backing track and show what you've learned over the last month, or if you want to send a recording. Oops, hold on, let me get this going to YouTube real quick.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
There it is.
Okay, there. And so Dustin sent us a recording, so we're going to listen to his Aeolian track.
Yeah. So to give a little bit of a background. Oh, he popped out. Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if he didn't want to go to YouTube.
Oh, I don't know.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rodney. I hope you'll watch.
So how in the world are you getting those chords to sustain like that?
So are you talking about you're not talking about the lead line, you're talking about the
lead line.
background?
There's like a background thing that's happening.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I used on last month's track. It's the Fractal FM3 with the edge, one of the edges patches.
Right. Okay.
Again, trying to be a little economical, trying to build like a bit of a bed there.
Yep.
I was actually thinking as I was finishing up this track that next time I need to use a synth or an orchestral section of samples, something different than an echoey guitar, but it's that same patch.
I was liking it anyway.
Thank you.
Particularly like about this is that it seems like you're really thinking like a producer, like one of the things I know that one of the things that we were talking about last week was soloing, and then sticking that lick, or right, and then getting that lick in between all that stuff. And what you did on the recording was, it was cool. It's like you were soloing, and then that line would sort of drop in at exactly the right moment.
All those different layers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you said layers, Julie, because that's exactly what I was going for, is trying to layer in, almost like in an orchestral sort of thing. One of the guitar players that I really respect, who's, I think, very underappreciated, is a guy named Ross Childress, who played in Collective Soul in the first 4 albums. Not a shredder by any means, but would come up with these really inventive parts, like tapping arpeggios, or using a multitude of effects to really come up with unique sounds. So what you're hearing there, John, with that line, I was trying to come up with a really inventive way to go about it.
Right.
So right,
Yeah.
and I was having a hard time fretting that. So what I did was come up with a way to tap it.
Oh, inventive.
Wow.
You know, it falls under the hands that much easier, right? Because I was trying to do an octave or 2 octaves higher. So
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear my guitar now. I've turned the volume on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so then just to make it a little funkier, I threw a phaser on it because I realized I never use phaser. So I threw that on there and it sounded
Why not?
really cool. It acts as kind of a counter melody to the melody that I came up with, which is
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
That's cool.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. That's so cool. I love it, man.
love
Like
that.
you really,
You made your
Yeah.
own spin.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job. You know, I mean, I love it because you kind of took that starting point and kind of made it your own. So it was really great.
I appreciate that because last month and this month, the mission that I sort of set for myself was to take the backing tracks that you're giving us and, compose a song around it, come up with a chorus melody because you are setting them up in a verse, chorus, pre-chorus sort of sense,
Yeah.
And in practicing over them, I've tried to just improvise and shred, but there's more to composition than just layering guitar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. So-
And again, it kind of depends a lot on what your overall goals are in terms of how you spend your time.
Sure.
I would strongly encourage you to, to start putting together some of your own backing tracks as well, if you have the means to do that.
Of course. Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that I've learned that's really valuable has been to really let go of perfectionism and just show up and do stuff. Because like one of my big bugaboos, right? Like the thing working against me is I'm a perfectionist, like really bad,
Yep. You and I both. Yeah.
So what will happen is I'll sit with my DAW and just start to get frustrated because I'm not coming up with anything I like.
Mm-hmm.
But then other times I find I'm doing my best work if I just kind of forget about all that and just kind of push forward.
Like the sounds.
Yeah. Like
We
the
have
sound.
so much technology. Those Axe effects. I mean, there's everything in that thing. I
Right.
can't even.
Absolutely. You
imagine.
barely scratch the surface of it to use it.
I know.
But,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're saying that, John, because I myself, as I just said, am a perfectionist as well. So I'm extremely guilty of overthinking and underdoing.
Right.
So one of the things that I love about this guitar club and you sending us the backing tracks is it holds me accountable to actually having a deadline to come up with something.
That's
Right.
the beauty of it, right?
Right.
And then look at how
Yeah.
you've shared with us and given everyone some fun ideas.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn, composing last week or last month and this month's, and then going back and listening to them, I realized there are mistakes in there. The mix doesn't sound the way I'd want, or there's a clam somewhere in the playing. But ultimately, that doesn't matter because the overall picture sounds good to me, and that's been a very big lesson for me in the
And
last
you
couple of months.
created something.
Right, and
you
not
know?
only that, not only that, the way that you get good at something is show up and you keep trying.
Exactly.
So
Oh, did I tell them the quantity versus quality story?
No,
Have
go
I
ahead.
told you this before?
Please.
Okay, there was an art class. They were learning ceramics,
Hmm.
and the teacher split the class up into two groups. And the first group, he told them, your instructions are to create one vase or vase or whatever it was, ashtray. And it has to be the best ashtray you've ever done. So you need to spend this whole month just working on the one. And then the other group, he said, your job is to do as many vases, ashtrays as you can possibly imagine. Just the more the better. You got to just work really hard at getting these things out. And so you would think that the one would be the most beautiful, perfect one, but it turns out the ones who just pushed them out, they ended up with the best one because they were just doing it. And when you're doing it, you're getting better. So,
right, well,
Yeah.
if you do 10 of them, if you make 10 vases, right, vases, excuse me,
ashtrays.
then the first one you do, you're going to learn something from, and then you can do the second one better, and then on and on and on. And like that's something I definitely find is that it's important for me to show up and to
And come
not
with expectation.
yeah
Put a little expectation on yourself
hmm.
just to create something, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say, I'm going to go write a crappy song.
Yeah.
John, I'll see you later.
Yeah, and we can discuss this at length, at some point. But one there's a couple of tools that I use to get myself started. One is one of the techniques that I use sometimes if I've really got nothing. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just pick a key that I'm going to play in, and then I'll start anywhere except the one chord.
Oh. That.
Okay, so and what's cool about that is that from the moment you start, you have to you already have a goal in mind. You have to kind of work your way home. So if you start on the 3 chord, like let's say we're in A and I start on the 3 chord, which is C sharp minor. Right?
Yay!
Right. So now, right. So as soon as you hear the
Triumphant.
one, it's like, yeah, it's like she said, yay, one chord, and you could do that with almost anything. You could do that with, I could play the key of A, and start with, I could start with an F sharp 7th chord. Right?
Mhm.
So, so as soon as I start with the F sharp 7 chord, it makes me think, okay, well, maybe I'll start with this sort of thing and see if I like it.
But just with that one parameter, it doesn't seem as daunting. You just go, oh, I know what to do.
Right,
Any of them.
right, and that's the place you want to get to. And something else that I do sometimes is, like, as soon as the chord progression or melody seems a little bit predictable, find a way to make it a little bit unpredictable. Okay, so for example, if it's a 4-bar phrase, make it a 5-bar phrase. Or if it's a 4-bar phrase, make it a 3-bar phrase. Or make it
Add in a measure of 2/4.
yeah, put a measure of 2/4 at the end of it. Like if you listen, if you think about the chord progression for Little Wing, that's there's a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a 2/4 measure in the middle of that chord progression. So it's so interesting because when it hits that C, it's only a measure of 2.
But it's so powerful.
Well, kind of what it does is it throws it just enough off balance to make you tilt your head just a little bit. And while you don't always want that, it's a good way to sort of take it slightly away from predictabilityville.
John, would you think of that as that 2-bar phrase? Would you think of that as a turnaround, like a blues turnaround, or am I getting it?
Sort of. I just think sometimes 2/4 bars happen, because a lot of times it's because the singer is like singing the words, they're not really thinking about the timing. Mm-hmm. And they're just trying to get all the lyrics in and strumming the chords, and then it's only later on that somebody actually counts it out and says, "Oh, did you know there's a 2/4 measure?" It's like, there is? Well, yeah. To me, it's kind of more like that.
That's what happened to me the
Sure.
other day.
But to answer your question about turnaround, to me the turnaround in that tune is the drum fill at the end.
Oh.
Yep. To me, the definition of it, like the function of a turnaround, is that you're sort of telegraphing to the audience and to the band members, is like, okay, we're done, and we're going to turn it around, and we're going to start over again. Ready? Bingo!
It's the cue.
Right?
Into the next section.
Yeah. Right. So it's sort of a less than subtle. I take it Rodney knows exactly what I mean.
Well, yeah, exactly. The turnaround's predictable, and you're looking for unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, yes.
We like some predictable.
Well, yeah. I mean, predictability by itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I would just saying, one thing I do is, like, if I'm looking to make something a little bit less predictable, those are some of the things that I look for. Is either a chord that doesn't quite fit into the key, or maybe an extra beat, or maybe an extra bar, or take away a beat or a bar.
But don't just start on the one.
Right. And then also
don't play A on the one. Fits in.
Right.
Since we're talking great music from the 60s, John, in keeping with the concept, one of the great things I like is the Cream White Room in being in 5/4.
Yep.
Or I believe Tales of Brave Ulysses is in 3/4 or something like that as well. Both of those songs, you don't notice that they're not in 4/4, but particularly with White Room, something about that, the verse being in 5/4 just really kind of throws it off just enough to have an artistic effect there.
We might get a copyright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get a copyright hit, but still, it's it's one of those things that when I was learning it back in college, White Room, like I never even listening to it realized it was in 5/4.
Right.
It's so subtle. It's so subtle, but it adds this tension that you don't you feel, but you don't notice.
Yeah, and there's another tune like that. Jeff Beck's Diamond Dust is in 5.
Oh, wow.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
And
Joe Satriani Echo.
Yeah, Joe Satriani's Echo. But like if you listen to the Jeff Beck tune and actually count, it's in 5.
I'll have to go back and listen to that because I have that on vinyl.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous tune.
Well, I mean, everything Beck does is gorgeous. Let's be honest.
And it's funny because I hated that record when I first heard it.
You hate
Really?
it?
Yeah, well, like when you first listen to those guitar sounds, some of the guitar sounds that he gets on that record are miserable, because it sounds like he plugged into a fuzz box and then direct into the board.
He might have. Who knows?
Right, but like if you
But
listen
then
to
you hear the live at Ronnie Scott's.
Right.
It's like pure magic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Julie, I'm right there with you. I mean, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, what is that on Wired or is that on Blow by Blow? I can't remember.
Diamond Dust is on Blow by Blow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Jeff Emmerich.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Dana, have you got anything to play for us this week?
You want to do some Dorian?
Me? I got nada.
Okay.
Nothing?
All right. That's
How
fine.
about Rodney?
All right.
Rodney?
Rodney, you got anything you want to play?
I just started looking at. I just got the material, so it's like I I've been messing around with it a little bit. So, but I'll be a little bit better next time we meet.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
there's
fine.
no pressure, and we just want to give people the opportunity. If you want to do it, we're here to grow together and not make anybody uncomfortable. You don't.
Absolutely. Right on, man. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Rodney,
Go ahead.
would you mind kind of giving us the thumbnail, the sort of the elevator pitch in terms of like how long you've been playing and what
All the
you
stuff.
want to get out of the club?
Been playing probably like over 30 years. So,
Where you from?
I'm from Salem, Mass. Well,
Okay.
Peabody, actually. I live in Peabody now, but I'm from Salem.
You're
Okay.
north of us, then.
Oh, yeah. You guys on the South Shore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
So
cool.
we're on the opposite side of the Tobin Bridge.
Oh, okay. The quiet side.
Yeah.
Well, no, not this time of year because everybody's heading down the Cape.
Everybody
So,
go down the Cape.
it's not
I'm a
quiet
Massachusetts.
anymore.
I'm the Massachusetts foreigner in the club. I'm an upstate New Yorker, but don't tell anyone.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all good.
Well, we hope you like the Red Sox.
So
I'm not a baseball fan, but my sister likes the Red Sox, so I'll go with that one.
Okay, good.
yeah,
Good
that's
answer.
close enough.
I'm not really
Okay.
a
So what
sporty
are you hoping to get from Guitar Club? Like what
Just
would
hang.
be a home run for you?
Just anytime I can pick up some new, I'm always looking to upgrade on my theory and stuff like that. So this is perfect for that. When I saw like the modes and stuff like that, I was like, great.
All
I mean,
right.
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay. So how about do you want to just dive right into Aeolian?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm a rock guy, metal guy, so Aeolian's your bread and butter.
That's our
Let's
good
do it.
song.
All right. So let's do this.
Do you want to do the scales? Which one?
Let's do the scales
4, 5,
first.
or scales 2?
We have a look.
Oh, are
So
these the same?
Aeolian.
Oh no, soloing study 5. That's the rhythm. Okay, so we'll look at
Yeah.
the scales.
Let's look at the scales
I'm gonna
first.
share the
So
screen with you guys real quick.
So Dustin and Dana have been here like kind of from the beginning,
Oops, sorry.
and all the tracks that we've had that I've been offering, each one of them essentially what they do is they present the mode in 3 different keys.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so in the case of Aeolian for this week, it starts with A Aeolian. Okay, then it will go to F sharp Aeolian. Then it will go to D Aeolian. Okay, so and there's a chord progression that goes with each section. So so in each case the scales are presented 2 different ways. The first way is so for the Aeolian there's a 1 octave version played like this. No, wait a minute. Okay, and then the second way is
Wow, pinky.
yeah. Okay, so it's basically a 1 octave version versus a 2 octave version. Okay, and part of what I'm getting at, there was one of the discoveries that I made was that when I was practicing 2 octave scale fingerings, that what I would find is that I would learn the shape and practice it as a 2 octave shape. Okay, but then anytime I went to use it, I would always start on that note. Okay, so and the problem was the problem was really a very simple one. What was happening is I was playing it the way I was practicing it.
Which
So
makes sense.
it kind of occurred to me at one point that maybe it might be smarter to practice both a 1 octave version and a 2 octave version, where the 1 octave version is actually in the range where you would play the melodies. You know, so if I'm playing an Aeolian, okay, and then then from there, what I can also do is, like, once my ears get acclimated to that sound, what I can now do is find that same scale sound.
Find it all over the neck.
You know, and then just kind of, so start by practicing one little area until you can get it reliably, and then start looking for those same notes in the same key in other parts of the fretboard. You know, and if you do that enough in enough different keys, you'll be able to do it in any key in any scale. You know,
Well, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but playing it in 1 octave versus 2 octave, you know, I've also practiced scales, you know, 3 octaves laterally on the fingerboard.
Yep.
It breaks you out of the pattern of exactly what you're talking about, which is when you go to improvise, you immediately start, you know, from the lowest note.
right.
'Cause that's home base, and it starts to sound like scale exercises as opposed to music.
Right, exactly. Because I can almost hear the golf game announcer. He's now playing the A Aeolian. Oh,
Love it.
golf claps.
Right.
Sweet.
So, okay. So then F sharp Aeolian. It's essentially the same thing, but now in the key of F sharp. And then the F sharp Aeolian scale.
2 octaves.
Okay. Then finally the D Aeolian.
Oh, is this the saddest Aeolian?
It absolutely is. Then
Oh, I didn't move the sheet, sorry.
Julie, that gets more than a golf clap. That's,
I had to. D
of
minor.
course.
okay. So
This one goes to 11.
yes. It's the saddest of all keys. So, so actually, what I'm going to ask you to do is take a second and just play the Aeolian, A Aeolian scale 1 octave, the F sharp Aeolian 1 octave, and then the D Aeolian 1 octave.
Okay, and then F
Okay,
sharp.
then F sharp
here.
Aeolian.
Oops, I did it for June. I must be in my
Yes. Okay. Dana, any questions about these?
D Aeolian.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I think. We'll see.
Okay, then D Aeolian. Yeah, okay. All right.
I just got it.
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of the scale. So now the track, let me see if I can find it.
You're gonna play it from your computer.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Really fun. I
Okay,
love
so-
that. Chink, 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 chink.
Yeah, so this is basically the key of A Aeolian. Okay.
All I have is the mojo.
Then it goes from, so the chord progression goes from A minor to F over A.
Oh, let me show the
to-
rhythm
yeah,
sheet
so
here.
then G over A, or G5 over A, and then back to F5 over A. Okay, so that's for the key of A Aeolian. So that's the F over A, G5 over A, F5 over minor, D, E, F sharp minor, then the whole thing repeats, F sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor. Okay, then it goes to D Aeolian, and here the chords are moving quite a bit faster. So D5, B flat 5, C5, G5. Now, the harmony that's being applied is D minor, B flat major, C major, G minor, even though they're all indicated as 5 chords. Okay?
Easy.
Yeah. So the basic idea is to improvise over all 3 keys. So you kind of establish yourself in Aeolian, kind of improvise some things, but also become aware of when it switches over to F sharp Aeolian, and then find a way to transition smoothly into that.
What's the key, John? Listening.
Listening. That's right.
One,
Listening and
two,
counting. Right.
1, 2, 3.
So. Sharp minor. D minor. Okay, and then you're back to A minor. Okay. Questions about how that works?
No.
Okay. Anybody want to try it? Julie, want to try it?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Not that I'm putting her on the spot or anything.
Do you want to do this? I'm gonna have to stop sharing for just a sec, and I'll move this over here, and you
Okay.
can do the scrolling on the
Sure.
scales if you want.
Sure.
There
Yeah.
it is,
So,
it's gonna move there.
okay. So what's better for you to be looking at? Do you want to see the Aeolian scales for soloing study, or do you want to see the rhythm guitar part that shows what chords are being played?
I'd rather see the rhythm guitar part myself.
Okay. All right.
And I'll say when I jump in and play it, John, I'd like to see the scales themselves,
Okay.
and just listen for the changes.
All right.
My toes
Yeah.
isn't
Okay.
set.
So this part's going to be Aeolian, right?
Oh boy.
Then it switches over to F sharp Aeolian and does this whole thing twice. Then it goes to D Aeolian. All right.
Let's try it. I don't know if I'm gonna. Do you want me to use these same fingerings?
No, it's up to you. I wasn't.
Okay, I'll try
mean,
it.
I
I'm
think
gonna
if you-
stay with the 1 octaves for a while.
Yeah.
I've never done this one before, sorry.
Okay.
Is that me or you?
It's probably.
Yeah, sorry to point that out. Anybody else here in the hum?
It was me.
Yeah, I hear him.
This,
Crazy kids in your single coils.
Oh, you know what? Try using that set. Or do you want to use Les Paul?
no, think it's the fly rig.
Oh, okay,
It's fine. I'll just do clean.
okay,
I have a little delay.
okay.
What are you using for a distortion sound there, Julie?
Well, I have this thing called a fly rig, but it sounds mediocre. For a while, I wasn't bringing an amp to my gigs, so
Mhm.
it was so convenient, and it was okay. And I had a nice pedal that I liked.
Yeah,
But then all of a sudden, it just started to get quiet and noisy and thing. So I just use it here for my teaching, but it doesn't really give me many options.
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I'm actually using an amp with a with an overdrive pedal.
I think I will try that next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to hear myself.
Do you want to use this?
No.
Okay.
I like
Do you want to use the amp?
No. Oh, maybe.
All right, hold on.
Well, that would be
Let's do that.
better.
What are you using for an amp and an overdrive pedal, John?
Okay, so the overdrive pedal I'm using right now is the Bogner Ecstasy,
Ooh, I like that.
Hmm.
and the amp I'm using is just it's a Laney TT20, so it's like a 112 all tube 20-watt combo.
Sure.
You know, I just have it set to your garden variety clean sound. So if I turn this stuff off and she plays, okay, so there's the clean sound, there's overdrive, and then there's the solo sound. Yeah, now
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, the Bogner overdrive pedal, I like it in some ways in that it sounds great. The only thing I kind of don't like about it is that it completely takes over the tone. You know, I've got this other overdrive, called Burn Unit by Barber Electronics. And what's great about that pedal is that any amp you plug it into and then turn the overdrive on, what happens is it still sounds like the amp you're playing through. It's just with an overdrive sound.
Which is nice.
Where
A little more
Yeah,
transparent.
because
Yeah.
we like the amp.
right. So if you like the amp, then this is that's a great box to play to use. This one completely obliterates the sound of the amp and just takes over and gives it what it gives it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a nice sound. So it's
It's a different ethos of how to go about it, like
Yeah.
additive to the amp, or as you say, taking over
yeah.
stage.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Nope, not that.
I do love that song though. Georgie Porgy.
Okay, show and finder.
1, 2, 1.
Wait.
There it is.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, hands sharp.
Oh yeah, we go here. Oh here. Oh here.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
One.
missed it every time it came in though.
No, that's actually not true. I think you're being a little bit. So one of the things that kind of comes up working with Aeolian, with the previous modes, we've been sort of discussing characteristic notes. Okay, so in the case of Aeolian will have two characteristic notes. That will be natural 2 and flat 6. Okay. Now, whenever I teach modes, to my students at Berkeley, one of the things I talk about is that there's 3 ways to define modes. One is that a mode is a major scale starting from different degrees. Okay. For example, D Dorian is a C major scale starting from its second degree. Another definition is a mode is a major scale with notes altered. For example, D Dorian is a D major scale with flatted third and flatted seventh. Okay. A third definition is a major or minor pentatonic scale with notes added. So, for example, D Dorian would be a D minor pentatonic scale with 2 and 6 added. Okay, so, and Aeolian is essentially a natural minor scale. Okay, the only difference between Dorian and Aeolian is that flat 6. Okay. So in the case of Dorian, natural 6 would be the characteristic note. It's because it's the only minor scale that has that natural 6. For Phrygian, the flat 2 would be the characteristic note because it's the only minor mode that has flat 2. Okay, so in the case of Aeolian, you'd have to play both natural 2 and flat 6 to delineate it from both Phrygian and Dorian. Okay, so if you're playing, could I have the chord back?
Oh, of course.
Or if you can, actually, you know what? Do you want to just give me do you want to give me the?
No.
Okay. All right, we're gonna share
Doesn't
amps
sound
here.
very good. We don't have to play at the same time, do we?
Okay, so if I'm playing Aeolian, okay, if I take out the 2 and 6, I'm going to end up with A minor pentatonic. If I add the 2 and then the flat 6, right? So by featuring that flat 6 and natural 2, that's really going to kind of characterize the sound of Aeolian.
2, 1, 2, 3.
So by playing it that way, it really comes across as, I'm playing Aeolian. Now, don't mistake it for anything else. This is Aeolian. Right? Now, if I play more of a pentatonic kind of a sound.
1, 2, 3.
It still sounds good, right? But it's
ambiguous.
it's slightly it's slightly more vague, I guess. Okay, so so part of what I'm getting at is that a neat thing to work on is to be able to play the scales in the right key, but also be able to quickly find the characteristic note of each of the scales and use that as a way to sort of frame your phrases,
1,
right?
2, 1, 2, 3. As opposed to so if I'm playing just pentatonic, I mean it still sounds good, but it's less.
So that second time, I was kind of improvising in a more of a way that was pentatonic. In other words, avoiding nailing, like pinning down those characteristic notes. So, you know, one isn't better than the other. It's more that each kind of has its own flavor, shall we say.
So this actually ties back into something that we talked about a while back when we first started the Guitar Club. I brought up the "Smoke on the Water" solo by Richie Blackmore, and Julie, you pointed out to me at the time something I'd never noticed before, which was even though he had the key center, he was sort of mixing modes, for lack of a better term,
Yep.
and hitting these tension notes in parallel modes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Total interchange.
You know, he's blending them together. And I had never noticed that about that solo before. So what you're talking about here, John, that's a keystone sort of thing to me is you can blend the pentatonic, you can blend the Aeolian, you can blend in these tones and still be in the key.
Yeah.
Especially if the chord progression is static.
Mm.
If you have a chord progression that's
Yeah.
Aeolian, there is specific Aeolian chord progressions. And so if you play a note that's not Aeolian against those chords, then it will rub a little bit.
Yeah, and again, it's not.
It could be a sound that you want.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
Sometimes feelings don't feel pretty.
yeah. That's the thing. It's not that. It's not a case of here are the rules in order to play correctly, and you know the mode police will come and write you a ticket if you. You
Oh
know.
boy, I'm getting a lot of those tickets. Oops.
License and registration, please.
There's some Jimi Hendrix quote or something, apocryphal quote about how he always played in key by, like, if he hit a wrong note, just bending up a half step, because to your point,
You're
a couple of classes ago, you're only a half step away from the right note. So
Always.
at any time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so anybody want to give this a try?
Give it a shot.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Dana, have at it, man.
So Dana, you'll play it from the backing track on your computer. Otherwise, our computer backing.
Yeah, no problem. One thing I wanted to mention though, like the flat six being the characteristic note, it's not really a good note to hang on though, I've noticed, right?
Well,
It's more about kind of using it, but then resolving it, right? Usually it wants to resolve to the 5, as opposed to if you're playing like Dorian, where you can really emphasize the natural 6 on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Dorian.
So
Yeah, but even then, like the Dorian, the natural 6 in Dorian will have a similar effect. I guess it depends on what chord you're you're sort of landing on. Like if you're playing Oye Como Va, right? So it's A Dorian, right? So F sharp would be the natural 6, right? So if I'm playing, as soon as I hit that F sharp, the band is playing a D chord, and F sharp is the 3rd of the D chord, right?
yeah,
So it's going to sit right nicely with it.
Tone sounds great on that, by the way, John.
Huh?
Your tone on the guitar sounds great playing
Oh,
that.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's the ecstasy.
Yeah, I think it's the ecstasy.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
don't take it. We just play through
No, it's actually it's my endless talent.
it.
What did Frank Zappa say? Tone is in the hands. In the hands and in the head.
And in the heart.
There you go. In the heart.
Anyway, okay, so but yeah, you're right. I mean, flat 6 and Aeolian, it's not really a resting point note. Natural 2 can be, and it's not. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do with it. It's a sound I happen to like a lot, and I use it a lot. But you're right. It's not really a resting point note.
right.
You know.
Yeah, the 2 in minor sounds great, right? Because it's like being a 9 chord.
Yeah.
Kind of sound.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's see what we can do here.
Let's do it.
2,
Have at it.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, man. Nice. Nice. Like you've got like.
Nice job. I like the note you left it on there, Dana. That was a perfect note for that chord. I loved it.
It's the root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes the root is good.
so it seems like you've got pretty good control of of getting from one tonality to to the next thing. And when I created these things, that was part of what I was working on, was that it's like once I get into a key, I'm usually fine. The challenge was getting from one key to another key and have it be like a pretty smooth transition, because once that starts to get stitched together nicely, like the effect of changing keys like that can actually be really nice, but I got to be able to kind of see it coming. And that was the thing, like I have a tendency, like one of my worst tendencies is, it's like once I hit a groove I like, I just kind of, I stop thinking, I stop counting, and I just kind of go, oh, cool, and then it's exactly the thing that bites me in the ass every time, so I sort of created this as an exercise to sort of force me to pay attention to how long the chord progression is happening before it changes keys.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been trying to focus on in because one of the things that really bothered me about my playing for a long time is when you go from that one key to the next key, for me, there was always that, 3 to 5 seconds of silence to get my bearing.
Right.
And
right.
And you could just get so frustrated with myself doing that. And like what you were saying, what's really beautiful is you can just play this line where it continues into the next key seamlessly. It's really beautiful.
John will say, oh, we're going to F sharp, and then he plays a note from the F sharp scale just slightly before the chord happens. It's cool.
Yes, that was actually something else I was that I wanted to talk about a little bit. Is that's a cool way to practice it. Is to sort of think about a note that you're going to open the new key with, and then get to that note just slightly ahead of when the band changes key. So if I'm in A, so I'm gonna open F sharp minor with the C sharp, which is the fifth of the key. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So when I got to the end to the D minor, I was opening with the note F, which is a third of that. Which, if it's F
Doesn't
natural,
it sound cool? It's like it takes you to a different level before
Well,
the even comes.
Yeah, it absolutely sounds great, John. So, question for you is: does it matter if it's a common tone between the key you're going from to the key you're going to, or are you just even if it's outside of the key that you're in at the moment, you still play a note
Yes.
leading into the key?
In
Okay.
fact, the whole effect is that you hit a note that like when I'm in the key of A minor and I hit C sharp.
It's outside of the key. Yeah.
Right, that's the major third of A, right? And I'm playing in A minor,
Sharp 9.
right? So when you first hear it, the effect is like you first go, "What's that?" And then the key changes and you go, "Oh."
It's like it resolves itself.
It's a half step away.
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
One,
do the same. So
two.
I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to lead F sharp. I'm going to lead F sharp minor with the note C sharp.
Okay.
Then when I get to D minor, I'm going to lead with the note F natural, which is the third of D minor. Okay. So
1, 2, 1,
So
2,
here's A minor.
3.
sorry.
Sorry.
And then I'm back
Nice.
to
That's
and
so
then I'm back
cool.
to A.
Nice work.
Thank you. Okay, so really,
Oh, before we go on, Jane is watching on YouTube, and she just wanted to say great solo.
oh,
Dana.
cool. Hi,
She
Jane.
was
Thank
watching. She was watching your solo. So,
Thank you.
all right. Cool. Okay. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
you.
Carry
That's
on.
quite all right. Yeah, Dana, it was really nice. So, so Rodney, what do you think? You want to give it a try?
Oh, I don't know.
Next time.
I like to, but I'm a little shy right now.
All right.
Okay.
but next time, definitely.
Okay.
It's all right, man. Take your time. I mean, we all grow into it, so it's all good.
So what I was going to say too is, like what Dustin did was he downloaded the backing track, took it home, recorded it on his own time, and then emailed us the recording that he made.
MP3.
So that's
works
an
too.
option if you want to do it that way.
Or if you want to make a video.
Yeah, or if you
you
want to
could
make a
show
video of yourself doing it, that's fine too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anything goes.
Or if you just want to practice it and play it live next week, that's fine.
Next month.
Next month, excuse
Yeah.
me.
We wish it was next week, but it's all good.
Yeah, well,
John and Julie don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
Right now.
We all got to earn a living too. I get you.
I mean, if it's the kind of thing that if we get enough of an audience, we definitely would do it. We definitely would do it. Every week. I think, although,
Things are really busy right
Yeah,
now.
things
Maybe
are-
by the fall
yeah.
it'll ease
Yeah.
up. But we have fun things
So somebody asks, so awesome, how can I get the drum software that
Oh.
you're using? Oh, that's not drum software. That
John
that-
programmed his own
yeah,
thing.
I programmed my son.
Oh, it's actually.
That's my son. That's my
He was
son, Steve
programmed.
That's
Finn.
what sons are
actually.
for.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
I
actually.
was John. I was actually going to ask you if that was a live drummer or easy
Yeah,
drum. or
that's
something
my son,
like that,
Steve
so.
Finn, playing drums.
That's awesome.
It's
He's
actually my
awesome.
daughter. It's actually my daughter Ashley playing bass on that too.
It's the Finn.
So you're pulling the Eddie Van Halen thing. You've got the family band. You've got the
Family band.
you've got the son and daughter as the rhythm section, and then you
Yeah.
play the guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a lucky man, John.
Yes, yeah, I would
Lucky man.
definitely. I've always sort of teased them.
We don't
you
play
know.
for free though.
Yeah, exactly. I often tease them because the conversation is very often, oh, Dad, do we have to jam tonight?
It's supposed to be a good thing.
Totally good thing.
I think I'm gonna have to take a page from your book and get my nephews into. I've been trying to get them into guitar. I think I'm gonna have to get them into the more rhythm section sort of stuff. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Oh, fun.
Well,
Thank you.
in Steve's case, Steve actually started by playing guitar, and
Mhm.
then kind of switched to drums on
He's
his
been
own.
playing more
Nice.
guitar and singing as well now.
Yeah, and he
He's
actually
musical
these
all
days,
around.
yeah, he teaches at School of Rock in Attleboro,
oh cool.
and he teaches a couple of ensembles. So he's been
And I
he's
think
been
private students too.
yeah, he's got some private students and some guitar private students. So he's been teaching kind of like a lot of different things, and going back to guitar a little bit too.
Nice.
So
Fun.
okay, so do we want to take a look at the licks?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Does anybody have any questions so far before we could go on to that?
Nope.
Okay,
We got Aeolian.
all
We're
right.
gonna June and
I'm my only question, John, is the first Aeolian lick. How long did it take you to compose and practice that one? Because that one's gonna hurt the hands. Not gonna lie.
The first one.
Let's take a look.
Let's see. See that?
Crossing the bridge there.
Now John has not practiced these ones. He's just gonna work them out. He wrote them a while ago.
Let's see that. No.
Oh, sorry. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Love it.
nice.
Love it.
That's neat.
Yeah, so this is the sort of thing. It's kind of born out of the idea of taking those 3-note per string scales and dividing them into 6-note blocks. Then so the first 6-note block, then the second 6-note block,
Oh, I see it.
then
I like how it slides up.
yeah.
So you're doing a 6 against 4, essentially.
Not really. No, it's a 6-note block. I mean, I'm playing 8 notes.
Oh,
But,
okay.
But I'm using a block of 6 notes to
Got
play
it.
8-note sequence. So
Got it.
here's the first set of 6. Here's the second set of 6. Then starting on measure 3.
Oh, those are the threes against
Yeah.
the
So that's
fours.
like that's like a 16th notes in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then
They're not triplets. Really.
right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If that
So
makes sense.
this is something that I love compositionally. Petrucci does this a lot. It's building patterns within the scales,
Yeah.
and it leads your ear. It just I don't know how to describe it. It just adds a dimension where it sort of catches your ear because
Well,
it's not.
Well, what happens is it creates what I would call rhythmic tension.
Mm,
Okay, so
There you go.
like you would normally think of 16th notes as da 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 da,
Mhm.
right? But if I accent every 6 or every 3, da 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 da,
Yeah.
okay, that the accents kind of play against the 4.
hmm
You know,
That's actually something I have a hard time with when I'm internalizing these patterns is accenting on the offbeat.
yeah.
That takes some time to get your hands around. Yeah.
So
You
that's
know what's a good exercise is to do a chromatic scale.
Mhm.
And the first time through, you accent the first one. And then the second time, you do the second.
Oh,
The third.
oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
really
So
cool.
the first time it'll be down, the second it'll be up.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't playing.
Yeah, but you're accenting a different note every time you go
Yeah.
through the pattern. That's really cool. Nice.
You have to do two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I can't do it super fast, but
that's cool.
Yeah. So,
I hear a lot of early Larry Coryell. He does like kind of like he'll use a grouping of 5.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't say it fast
Eric
enough.
Johnson does 5s too.
Yeah. So,
Daddy get it done. Daddy get it. Daddy.
I love that.
so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've practiced that. So,
That's a beautiful sound.
yeah.
Nice, John. Very nice.
Sounds like a cascading waterfall or something. It just
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what's happening with this first one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm sorry. 1,
Do you want me to
2,
say the 1, 2,
3.
3?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So,
Yeah.
okay. So
Nice.
see if I can actually. I'm going to be a little bit bold and see if I can actually play this against the backing track. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try
2,
it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So it's
I think I'm going to do it without the music this time so they can see. Will you do it one more time?
yeah. Okay, so without the music?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
here we go.
just so you can
1,
demonstrate.
2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of picking. Pretty fast. Thank you.
Pretty fast. Love
That's a
it.
Jedi lick, John. That's the one you look at your student and say, "You're not a Jedi yet, Vader. You must face Vader." This lick.
You must walk through the fire of the picking.
You must,
No, Luke.
the Emperor. You must face the Emperor.
No,
I
Luke
always love that.
Skywalker.
Right?
The lightning bolt.
Get it wrong, and the lightning comes your way.
All right, here's another 16th, but I
Okay.
see you have some pull-offs. So
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so this one.
That is cool.
This one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play this up to tempo. This one is actually much harder.
oh, it is.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's got some rhythmic displacement in it, right?
Uh,
Is that from one of your songs, John? I recognize that lick.
nah, not really.
Really?
That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I mean, let's when I wrote this, like what I was. See, it's funny. Like what happens is when you're sitting and writing educational material to show other people how to do stuff. When you're taking pen and paper out, you tend to, the tendency is to write things that you can write.
Mm-hmm.
And demonstrate.
Where what I was trying to do when I put together these things was actually start with a lick that I would actually play.
Okay.
And that's kind of what this is. Probably why it sounds familiar is because, this lick is very typical of the kinds of licks I might play.
Stylistically, it's in your wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is this lick in this instance is quite a bit faster than, how I would normally use it. But
Just a random question before you dive into this, John. Do you ever push yourself by when you put pen to paper, sort of writing licks you can't play, and then pushing yourself to be able to?
I've definitely done
that
that
all the time.
I've definitely done that. I do that a lot. I didn't necessarily do that in this case. In
Okay.
this case, what I was trying to do was trying to notate what I would actually play.
Okay.
And then just kind of work at it from that standpoint.
Got it.
All right. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't mind, John. We're all good with you trying it.
All right. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate your understanding.
There's no apologies. No sorry. You just do it. If we mess up, this is the safe place.
Yeah.
We're all human. Yep.
And we know you wrote this. It says John Finn right on the paper.
I know, but don't I look kind of stupid if I write it and then can't play it?
You can-
We've all done it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, he played
Nick.
it.
Nice job, John.
That's awesome.
That's freaking awesome.
Played it in years.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing with this is it's like most of the time when I'm improvising, the picking technique that I would use is sort of a mix of hammer-ons, pull-offs, and picking.
Mhm.
So I could certainly. Right, but I've always liked the sound of mixing them up because the texture changes.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, if you're attempting this lick, a great way to do it is to play just the last measure, right? And then and then add the previous measure's last two beats. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
John, with a lick like this, are you using strict alternate picking, or would you use like a pick
No.
and first finger kind of a thing?
Oh no, everything.
Middle finger?
Everything's either picked or pull off or hammer on.
All right, so you're not doing any kind of hybrid picking.
Not in this case. I do sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the case of this specific lick, no, it's all either picked or hammer on or pull off.
Okay, gotcha.
That's a great question, because there are situations where I may do that. Actually, you can see it, but
Hold on, I'll stop.
Yeah, so actually the reason I ask is because I can kind of see in this lick, like in the first measure of the second bar where you've got the 12-12 there, you can jump with the pick, or you can get that middle finger in there to
yeah,
hybrid pick it. So I was just wondering how you went about it.
yeah, you could.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a good study for both ways of picking,
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so any questions about how that works?
That's great, John.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you. Shall I go on?
Please do.
We got
Yo.
6 minutes.
Okay. All right. So the next one is
Eighth notes, yay!
yeah. So this one's eighth notes. Let's see if I remember this.
More achievable for us mere mortals.
Uh,
F sharp minor is a great key, by the way. I love it.
oh yeah.
So much fun.
Do you use your third finger to your pinky right there?
Where?
The hammer on? Is it your third finger to your pinky?
Yeah, third. Yes, third to pinky.
Ooh, cool. I like these wide things.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So that's over the F sharp minor section.
Nice.
Let's see if I can find it.
One, two.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's roughly what.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Awesome.
Wide intervals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that third measure looks like a bit of a bear.
Yeah, well, it's well, so it's what it is an E major arpeggio, followed by a B minor arpeggio, and then jumping all the way up to F sharp minor.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
I love that one.
Very cool.
Rock climbing.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Alright, we'll do the next one.
Okay, then the next
It's
one
another F sharp.
is another F sharp. Yeah. So same chord progression. Let's see.
One, two.
Okay. So melodically, that one's much simpler.
Very good melody, though. I like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay. Then what's the next one?
D. Hopscotch.
Ah, right.
Ooh,
Okay.
look
Oh.
at this.
So this one is leaping central. So essentially, so the thing I want you to notice in this is that everything is played on string set 5, 4, and 2.
This sounds
Oh.
like a police song.
Yeah,
Sounds like a Steve Morse piece. Wow.
yeah,
Chord progression.
That string jump, string skipping thing, that's great sound.
yeah, yeah. So the first two measures, everything's played on string set 5, 4, and 2. So D minor, and if I have any suggestion, play that F natural, the 6 on the second string, with your third finger. It's gonna feel really awkward to do it that way.
Do you use your
Because you got to use the fourth finger to grab that note on the seventh or seventh
Yes.
out of the yeah.
First finger, fourth finger, third finger, slide down, second finger, first finger.
Got it.
Then that's going to be first finger, fourth finger, second finger.
Yeah.
Then for G minor. Then for the next measure, the next line, it's string set 6. Excuse me, 1, 3, 5, 6. So it's an open voice D minor arpeggio. Okay, so D minor to B flat. Okay, and then the last two measures is just skipping between the notes on the first string versus the notes on the third string.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so so this if I can get it. Just drop mine. Thank you.
Goes to the oblivion.
Yeah, so that's it.
Cool. Nice.
Makes my inner child happy, John. That sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that so sometimes, and that's definitely a case of writing a lick that I couldn't play off the top of my head, but it's the kind of thing I like to play. So you see, you write it and then you practice it, and then
You're able to use it.
Yeah.
Miraculously.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of lick that does not come from just your hands moving around the fretboard.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's definitely composed lick.
it's so angular that it comes from hearing it and translating it. Definitely.
Okay, so next time, so next time we're gonna dive into Phrygian kind of stuff, I think.
Cool.
All
right.
And once we continue, there's a bunch of other stuff that we can that we can work on. I recently developed a little method on improvising using triad shapes, which is pretty cool because it kind of gets kind of gets into some really simple devices that sound great because they get you doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do, but they're also like easy to think of, easy to play, and sound great.
That's cool. I'd be interested in seeing that, John, because one of the things that I'm pushing myself to internalize is not necessarily shifting between scales and triads and chords, but incorporating them all in the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Being able to fluidly shift between, a scale pattern versus an arpeggio, knowing where all those are and all the keys. That's sort of a goal for me. So
Same here.
Okay, well, with this material, I think what I would suggest is, download the track, practice by using the scale fingerings that were indicated, but then your next step is to try to find those same scales kind of all over the neck, and then practice transitioning from one key to the next.
Sure.
Okay. Then another step to take is to start writing licks for each key.
Your own.
Your own. Try mine. But really, the reason why I wrote them, it's more like this is what it looks like to practice in this way.
Template.
Because I think it is. Of course, I'm always thrilled when people learn and play my licks, but really the reason why I do it is because I'm trying to show the mechanics of how I approach things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good to know.
So, yeah. Okay, so any questions about any of that?
No.
I do have one question. Do you guys have like an archive of like some of the stuff you've done in some of the other meetings?
Oh, they're all on YouTube. So I
Oh,
think
they are. Oh, okay.
if you go to my channel,
Mhm.
well, let me just put my YouTube channel in. Where is it? Oh, here. Here's the link to what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you'll be able to see.
Oh, cool.
You'll be able to see my Julie Finn channel, and then let's see.
Yeah, there's a few in there. I mean, we've been doing this for almost half a year now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
November?
Oh, nice.
Did we start in November or October? I can't remember.
something like that. Yeah, I think November.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. Very
Okay,
cool.
so videos. Let's see. Okay, so there is June. Oh, that's right now. What's that? Okay, there's May. You kind of just have to work through. Oh, that's Ukulele Club. So we've got April. I think you have to scroll. I don't really have it in a playlist per se.
Okay.
Should do that. They don't really break it down into
Yeah, they don't make it
stream
necessarily.
things and then other videos, but
Yeah.
Cool.
But, but we'll get them.
Yeah.
So,
here's
when
the
are
channel
we meeting
link.
up again? So July.
Here's the home.
Want to say 18?
Is it a Monday?
Yeah.
It is. It's
Okay.
Monday.
Yeah.
Cool.
That'll work for me.
All right.
18th works for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So start thinking about Phrygian. We'll, at some point before this meeting, we'll upload the new material. The new
Hopefully,
support
yeah.
material. So if you
Sometimes
so if you
this time I was only had time to put it up right now. But everything we've gone through, you'll find in the link in the chat. It has the backing track, the scales, and then also John's licks.
yeah.
The rhythm.
cool.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Check that out. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you ever want have any questions, you can find us on Facebook. Send us emails.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
to.
I think I'm friends with you on Facebook anyhow, John.
Okay.
You're probably like, who the hell is this guy? Well, now you know.
Well, that's the crazy thing about Facebook. We're friends with people that we've never met, but then sometimes we see them in real life, and we're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!"
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
right.
wow, you are a real person.
Yeah. I saw
That's-
your graduation or
You
whatever.
are not a bot.
Great.
That's how I got turned on to this because I've been listening to John's music forever and then followed him on Facebook and saw they were doing this and boom, right in.
Right,
That's
and
very
you
cool.
came to the very first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
Social media.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys coming and spending time with us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're
Oh, you're
welcome.
welcome.
Really fun.
We appreciate you doing this, John. I
Yeah,
don't mean to
thank you
speak
so
for
much.
everybody, but I think I can by saying we really appreciate you just spending the time and sharing the knowledge that you've
Yeah.
acquired over your career. Seriously.
Well, it keeps me honest. Let's put it that way.
It's a gift to us, John. It really
Yeah.
is.
Oh, it is. It is.
Well, cool. All right. Well, great. All right, you guys. So
We'll see you
So
next
we will
time.
see you on the 18th.
And if
18
you're
oh.
not
Hey, guys.
signed up for the mailing list, did
Mm-hmm.
you get an email? Did you sign up for the mailing list?
I did, yes.
I'm
So
on it. Yeah.
If you go to juliefin.com/John and Julie's Guitar Club, you'll be able to sign up for the mailing list. We send out an email reminder and a link to all the Zoom and everything. So,
Yeah.
or just watch on Facebook. We'll do that too.
Yeah.
All right.